doing even more simpler than that. They had us doing something called Hannon.
Wow, Hannon. We have a course on Hannon.
Come on, dog. You know about Hannon?
Oh, yeah.
This simple.
Oh, and they had you doing it in every key.
In every key.
Yeah. The book only, I think, covers based on C, but you had to take it to the black keys and incorporate those as well.
They gave us a different keys and different BPMs, all the above. But like I said, that stuff right there is like, you can't skip over that and get to playing in church.
Right. So you're trying to break through, but first, you got to go under and just do the basics.
That's right.
You heard it from the man himself. So far what I've gotten from you, and there's been many things in between. On the 1 chord, you can always substitute the 5. You gave us some amazing 1 chord voicings. Going to the 3, it's not just about going to 3. You gave us a couple voicings on the 3. One that was more minor, another one that was more altered, like that sharp 5 and 9 I heard in there.
Yeah.
But then this idea of chromaticism, taking whatever's before that, stiffening your fingers and just going up.
Yeah.
You know, sort of in that sense. Okay, so now we're on the 3. Let's go back into the mind of Jay Free. How do we get to the 6? Because we're beyond this song. This is not just a song.
Mm-hmm.
This is about how can we navigate this keyboard to go where we want and sound good and sound the best we can. So from the 3 to the 6, what do you do?
Basically, from the 3 to the 6, whether you're using this minor or you're using this one I showed you.
Okay. Oh.
That's just.
You know my ear picked up on that. What was that? So that's a little different. Can you mind?
That right there is kind of a weird sus.
But it works.
But it's working. And it's off a D sharp.
Yes.
So you got that. Sorry. You're right here off this D sharp.
Yes.
You got that G sharp, A sharp, C sharp. That's in your right hand. That's the same thing that you use in the left hand. And which, like I said, like we said before, was F and B.
Tritone.
Yep. And F sharp and G. I mean, it's F sharp and C. Sorry about that. So you're just. Like that. That's your 3.
Yep.
Now, what I would say is, I learned this from guitar players, especially my guys like Jarris and them. They do this thing where they do this thing, like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's just kind of, you feel me?
Yeah.
I hear a lot of guitar players do that. So if you're like right there on that 3.
And then they take it up. Yeah.
You're on your way to that.
It's melodic feeling. You know, it's not just chords, but these chords are connecting together almost strategically.
And it's even better. I mean, what's even better about that, man, is whatever chords you're playing,
right,
all you got to do is move your pinky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Can you cover that? You just spell it out. You know, I know people can see you, but I don't want to leave any stone unturned, Jason.
Okay, so in your left hand, you're playing that G sharp. And once again, you're playing that F sharp, which is one of my favorites. I just love, I don't know why, but
you like that.
I love this over, like,
yeah.
So you're playing that, you know, you can stick that C in there also in the middle in your left hand. So you got G sharp, C, F sharp. Your right hand.
Yeah, and it's like when you hear it separately, it doesn't make sense. But I mean, because this seems so different than this, but when you put it together, that level of dissonance provides just enough what you're looking for.
You know, I mean, you explained it perfectly, man.
I think that's what the new musician is dissonant. Do you know, like, stuff like this was banned in the 1700s? The tritone and that diminished feeling, that was called the devil's interval.
Yeah, I heard.
And
now they're playing it in
like
church.
If you're not playing it, you
that's how you can't get a gig in church unless you know that. You know what I mean? But before it was the devil's work.
Yeah. So talk about how times changed. This is now, folks, and you're getting. Somebody hear you playing this, they kind of know you know what's up, right? Are there you know what's up chords?
Yeah, you definitely.
Are there you know what's up chords? I'm just delusional.
Like the stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Like
that's you know what's up.
Yeah, like I mean, just simple. Like the simplicity of stuff is the best.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you play, whenever you play a chord where you don't play the actual one,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Because not too many keyboard players are still on the.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Like but they're not actually playing the bass notes, you know what I'm saying, with it, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what's up chords is stuff like...
We made up our own term, y'all. That's you know what's up.
Yeah, like if you get on, you can like substitute, not play the bass note, but you can let the bass player play. Mm-hmm. You got all the chords in between, simple chords. You know what I'm saying? You might even notice that all those chords is right next to each other. Mm-hmm. But yet, it's... You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So to be able to do this two-hand thing, but still know where you are, if you didn't have a bass player to still know how to use the bass, how to use your left hand in that way.
Absolutely.
It's kind of like two different ways of thinking almost.
If you didn't have a bass player, I would tell you that you don't pretty much need this much of the keyboard.
That's all you need.
I mean, if you had a bass player, you pretty much could use just this and this much. This is all of the keyboard that you need.
So that involves a lot of preparation and knowing how to invert your chords properly, how to pick the closest movement possible.
Absolutely.
People are skipping all over the place.
I mean, a lot of people is using, like, they're all over the keyboard, and that's great and everything, but at the same time, we're talking about worship.
Absolutely.
You don't want to, like, take people out of the element, and it's not your solo.
Right. So you're saying you don't need to be arpeggio and having arpeggios all up the piano right now.
Yeah.
Just keep it keep it.
Simple things, and especially like playing your chords on the beat.
Gotcha.
1, 2, 3, and 3. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of all this,
right.
Like all the stuff, like
that's too much to you.
Yeah, it's just like simple, just, you know what I'm saying? Like almost like most important is like playing the song like the record.
Okay.
Whoever put the record out, they intended it to sound like that.
So you honor them in that way.
Exactly.
Gotcha. So on that 3, that real, let's take it from there and then take it on to the mountaintop to the 6.
Mm-hmm.
One more time, that chord, that real dissonant one, the guitar one you said, because that melody led up. Yeah, can you cover those notes if you will?
Of course. It's pretty much the same. You're off in your right hand, you're playing that G sharp, F sharp, and you're kind of just glistening. You just kind of touch on that, G sharp quick and then get off of it so you can get, unless you got a reach like that.
Right.
But I don't got that, so just kind of over to that C.
Which answers the question people say, how do you play two-hand voices and your bass? Well, you hit your bass first and then follow through with your chord.
Absolutely. If you don't have a foot pedal, I mean, it's still, once it's heard, get off of it and get over there. You know what I'm saying? It's going to ring a little bit.
Right.
So,
yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah. Cover that.
So, you got your left hand. In your right hand, you got E, A, B, and D.
And that's the magic note, right?
That's it. This one right here is the one that can go wherever it wants to.
And if they think about it, the bass is G sharp, right? And that note is like a tritone away from your bass, so it's almost like that tension needs to resolve, and that's why it sounds so good.
Yeah, because it's like you're kind of like, where is it going?
It has to go.
And as soon as it, you're like, oh, we on our way to the 6.
Yeah,
you feel me?
Question, but there's the answer. You answer right away.
And as soon as you answer it with that.
And then that takes it. It's like that continuity upward, going up.
And now it's like, it's complete.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This completes it. You can end the song here if you want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whatever, but
What is that 6 chord on C sharp?
C sharp minor. And you just kind of, like I said, hit that C sharp.
Yeah.
Over here, you can just basically go to the E, the G sharp, the B, and the D sharp. You know what I'm saying? Also suss it out with an F sharp if you want. You know what I'm saying? And then in your right hand, you got that G sharp, B, suss it with the C sharp and the D sharp if you want, and an F sharp.
Gotcha.
So you just... full. No more fingers left.
So you do have those chords sometimes when you go all out.
Yeah.
10 fingers.
You can, you know what I'm saying? Or you can just kind of leave it here. That's the same thing as all of that, but you just make it,
right.
Which is really guitar.
Yeah.
That's a guitar player.
Yeah,
you know?
gotcha. Okay, so now you're in the 6. Now a lot of songs, I can't even begin to count the amount of songs that go from that 6 and then down to that 5, 1, 4. Or we want to talk, advanced talk 2, 5, 1 of the 4. Kind of like we went to the key of the 4. Can you cover that next part?
Absolutely. You're at that 6, and say you're going from the 6. You know what I'm saying? You can 2-5 it.
Yeah.
That's
That's gospel.
That's definitely gospel. You know what I mean? And I love it because it's simple. You're right there already at that. You're just going right there to the 2. All you got to do to get there is just substitute. This one changes this C sharp to this F sharp.
Yeah.
That's simple. And then you just take this B that you got in your right hand. The whole note for it is, B, D sharp, G sharp. You can just you basically take this B and take it to that, to the A sharp. So that's simple.
Yes.
Then what you want to do is you go to the 5, same notes. So the same thing you got here.
Move it down.
Whole step.
Gotcha.
Same thing to the 1. So now you're going from 5 to 1.
Right.
Keeping that same.
Classic 6 to the 2, 5 to the 1. You know what I remember that in when I was first starting to play? Silver and gold.
Wow.
Silver and gold. And then the 6. I mean, a lot of people don't go to the 2, but you can go 6 to the 5, 1.
But you got fancy with it.
Yeah. I went 6, 2, 5, 1. But anyway, anytime you're on the 6 and eventually the 4 is coming, this is a good turnaround to do.
Yeah.
So that's more of a laid back way. What's one thing you would do to that? That if your melody was different or something, you'd flip it, or maybe another way to get to the 4, based on what we're doing here. We're on the 6 now. What's another way to get to the 4?
You can take the same, concept that you did for, and you can just basically do something even simpler. Here's two things you can do. Same thing you had. You can just take this C sharp and walk it down half steps all the way until you get to A. And you just use this. Same chords.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah, I got you.
All I did was C sharp, C, B, you know what I'm saying, to A sharp. Now if you want to get fancy with it, you can add that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, cover that, Jay. So C sharp, F, B, and you're just taking that down. Or what's on your right hand?
In right hand, you're gonna have a C sharp, you're gonna have a G sharp, you're gonna have an E.
And that's coming down.
Yep.
Going up is E, G sharp, and C sharp.
You can either use that
Dissonant,
F.
but
Yeah,
works.
you feel me? You can use that F, or you can use the E. But I love the dissonant. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you just basically move half steps down. Feel me?
Yes.
And you just go to that. That's the 3rd note. You know what I'm saying? So,
Left hand is straight chromatic, right?
well, pretty much, you just got this or that. That's pretty much chromatic.
That's chromatic. Okay.
Then you switch to B, D, A.
Gotcha.
Leave your D there, and then walk down these 2.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, very close movements.
Very close. So you got. Then you switch.
Yeah, gotcha.
And in your right hand, you got. Select that twice, and then you switch to F sharp, A, and C sharp, and play.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's your last note, and your last notes are F, G sharp, and C sharp. So you got.
Yeah, so the same thing, that 6, 2, 5, 1.
Yep.
When they want to go to the 4, this is yet another thing to use.
4.
Okay.
Same
Yes.
movements. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you going right to that 4.
4. How do you like to voice that 4?
4 guitar chord.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. So that's what is that? A, C sharp.
F sharp. Right hand you got B, E, and G sharp.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So love that. You know what I'm saying? You can also put that guitar as if you want. You know what I mean?
Like a piano hammer-on or something.
Exactly. And if you want, suss it out with that G sharp in there. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And that's on the 4. From there, you to the 5.
And is that the same 5 from earlier?
Pretty much.
Gotcha. So you got B, E, A, and B.
C sharp and F sharp.
Okay. C sharp and F sharp.
You're playing this. You don't have to. If you want, you can resolve it to like a.
Yeah. Cover that. So you just take your E down.
That's all. You just take your E down to that D. You know, the D sharp, and you just basically take this C sharp down to the C.
So what's the principle here? Anytime they're on the 5 and want some kind of feeling of change, or I guess more of a tension feeling 5, they can do this.
They can do this. Very simple. If you want, you can do it to that, which is that's traditional.
Yeah, that's
traditional.
No.
Or you can. That's more like, you know what I'm saying. You can enter that guitar chord.
What I'm thinking about is a Christmas song Whitney Houston sang. Who would imagine a king?
Wow.
Yeah. But when they move out of it, they're on the 5, and then they do that chord you're talking about. Well, but the diminished one.
That one. Oh, okay.
When you are around, and then they kind of keep it going. We just covered that one recently. But, man, these are some amazing chords. And then how do you get out of that? From the 5, you just come on to the 1, right?
To the 1, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like we said before, stay right there on that 5, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Or you could do that.
Yep.
Gotcha. So can we bring Brian White, one of the baddest bass players out here, can we bring him back and kind of demonstrate or just show him these chords and work with the bass player?
I would love that, man.
You've already done.
I don't know if we can afford them, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's about a minute.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Let's get him going, and we'll cover these chords, and they can see it as they hear a bass player.
Absolutely.
So welcome back. Now Jason says that there is an alternative way to end songs. Everybody ends songs the same way. If you're a typical player, 5 to the 1. Well, this is something else you can do. Again, don't just look at it in this example. How can I use this in my other worship playing, other songs I know, other ways to end, phrases and verses and stuff. So Jay Free, why don't you take us away?
Okay. It's real simple. One of my good friends or one of my good homies came up with this, and it's stupid. It's like real crazy. It's just a very simple walk down. Bass notes is C, B, A, G, F, B, E.
Wow.
So once again. Those are the bass notes.
Wow. So, it seems like you temporarily switched the key, because these are not, there's a lot of notes that aren't even in the E major scale.
Exactly. It's kind of, you could think of it as a E minor, just for the time being, but you're ending it somewhat close to an E major. You know what I mean? You'll hear it and you'll be like, oh, that's pretty. You'll hear probably a little overtone of like an F sharp in there or something like that, but you'll hear it. Another simple, those little simple chords that go with it is this is what you're playing in your right hand.
Wow, so that's C on the left hand and A, and then just a regular E major on your right hand?
Regular
E, G
E
sharp,
major.
and B?
Yep.
Wow.
And what you're kind of doing is playing the melody. This is the melody that you're playing.
Wow. So can we cover that melody. It's B, C, B.
B, C, B, C, B, C, B, A.
Okay, got it.
Then you can come right back down on that A again, right to B. Like that. C, B, A, G sharp. So, simple.
Got it, got it. So what chords are you playing here? We got the melody and we got the bass.
Simple chord is basically E major,
Got it.
and you just use your pinky to kind of get the melody going, like that.
Okay, so same chord on C and B.
Yep. You have the same chord. Actually, I would just bring this down to that G sharp. When you move this, that's what you're doing. One more time. This is C and A, B and G sharp, A and F sharp, G and E, F and D. You can play it like that, which is B and A, then G, I'm sorry, E, B, and G sharp.
Stretch, that major 10th there. Huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
You got the,
Wow, somebody in a song like that, that's one of them, you know what's up.
yeah, I mean, I like I said, I really thank, my friends, my guys for showing me a lot, and I pay a lot of attention. But, what I did is I just kind of do it my way, because the way they do it is super sweet. I'm not as sweet as them.
Ah, come on. So I got the first two. What's that chord? That one
That right there is
on the right hand particularly.
Right hand is actually C, G, and D.
Wow, that's like what we call a quinto chord.
Hmm?
Quinto, all fifth intervals on the right hand.
Wow.
The C to G and the G to D. That's nice. And then the same thing you got going on over here, the A and the G.
Yep, you can do A and G, or if you want to just give it that little tension weirdness, play in A and F.